Hi everyone, this is Debbie. How are you doing today? I want to thank those people who watch later on after the live is over, and I really enjoy the fact that you come in later and watch and enjoy that and leave comments. I appreciate it. And for all those who show up live, you're always welcome too. Hi Gail, how are you today? Today I am going to color. I haven't been coloring too much lately, and I have a trip coming up soon, and I'm taking some coloring with me so I can sit by the ocean and color. So I thought today I would go through some of my books and see which ones I'm thinking about taking with me, and also do some coloring. So thanks for coming, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I thought first thing I would do is go through. I have several Kirby Roseanne's books, and I really enjoy working in those. So I thought I'd flip through them real quick and just see if there's something in there I want to color today or not, but just to look through. Hi, Melody. Thanks for coming. We're going to be coloring today. Coloring. So I'm just going to start flipping through them. I'm not going to go real slow because there's a little stack of them here, and then I'm going to decide what to color. So I'm going to be on the watch out as I go through for something I would like to do. So this is a newer one of his. It's not, I think it has a date. It's not real new, but it's fairly new. Let's see, what does it say here? 2019, first published. So it's not that old. So anyway, I took this one with me last time I went to Mexico and colored some in it. So I'm just going to do a quick flip through. I do too, Melody. I love everything about color, but I really do love to color. So I have a few in here that are finished. I'll kind of go slower on those. This is all done with let me find them so I can say it the right way. I have a couple of these cases because usually when I color, I'm not in my craft area. So I mostly use Prismacolor Premiers, and I also use craft paint sometimes for the backgrounds. And that's what you'll see. Everything you see in here, all the colors are from those. So this is all colored pencil, no paint. And there's a lot of things that aren't finished, so don't write me letters. I know that's the way I do. I skip around and then I come back and finish them at some point. Usually I do the part that I'm interested in right at that moment and then come back to it later to finish it up. So like this is not finished. This is about half finished. And in case you haven't seen these books before, this will give you a little bit of a preview too. This is not totally finished. It's almost done, but not quite. There's a lot of stuff in here, so it takes a while. This one, I think this one needs a little bit of shading still in the main part. This one, I believe, is done. You know, I have some, where did I put those? Is there another here? I have some a few. I think these are the ones you're talking about. I have some the polycolors. Nope, that's not what you're talking about, is it? You're talking about polychromos, and I don't think I have any of those. Not even a small set. No, I have these Kohinoor polycolors. I have some of those. I have some Prisma, the harder ones, the fine, I can't think what they're called, the fine ones. I don't even know where they are at the moment. They're in another box somewhere. But this is what I mostly use. I like the soft ones. So here's some that started. This one's finished. Look at this little village up on his horns. I like the newer books, the newer books by Kirby, because they don't have the little creatures in them. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you in a minute when I get to one of the older books. This is going to be amazing. Excuse me. This isn't quite done. This is pretty cool too. This book is really a nice book. It has a lot of interesting designs in it. I did this one when we were in Mexico last time. I thought it was fitting. Got the little Inca looking thing on it. These are both about half done. Little porcupine. I want to do these too. I like them really well. This is, I still need to do all these clouds. Finish up some shading, finish up the shading in the background. The dragon itself is pretty well done, but there's a lot to this one also. Hi, Kimberly. Thanks for coming. Thanks, Kim. This one I think is not done. All this is done. Mostly the building itself, the brown parts need shaded. There's some more shading to be done down here. Different colors added. And this is how I usually start. I just go with pale colors over the whole thing so that I can pick out. There's so much to see that sometimes you don't realize what's there until you start coloring. So I like to kind of get an idea about it before I go in with my shading and what have you. There's some little trolls. This is done. The bees. Oh, no, I see these little people haven't been colored yet. None of the little people have been colored yet, so that's not done. This is about halfway. I got to finish doing the circus and the butterflies. This one's finished. All these little ants carrying their leaves. And sometimes I put in backgrounds that aren't there. So these circles were not in there. I added those myself. This is still has this side should be as colorful as this side. So it's not quite done yet. And there's some more colors to go on the fish. So I kind of do in layers. Everybody has a different way they like to do it. Look at this little sloth with the houses hanging off of him. And I pretty much start light and work my way to the darker. This is pretty neat too. The designs on here are really nice. And then it's got a farm, which this looks Egyptian to me, and then this looks rural, so I don't know. But it went together, so whatever. This one, again, the people aren't colored yet, and there's some more shading to do. Just started. And you can see on this one, I've done more on this side than I have on this side. And there's still a lot more to do. Oh, I thought about trying those, Melody. I might have to try them. I think when I'm in Cancun this time, I'm going to get to go to well, they call it a paper store. And it's like a big art store from everything from school supplies on up to fine art stuff. And I'm thinking about, I'm going to look the prices up and see if I can get anything cheaper there. And I might get some polychromos if they have them. I know they have the ones I normally use, but I don't know if they have polys. So this is not finished. And I just noticed this one. I don't remember seeing him. That'll be a cool one to do with this big eagle. But this is like underwater, and their legs are underwater, and their legs turn into the houses. So that was pretty cool, I thought. Here's some pterodactyls. And see here again, you can see this one's just barely started, and my colors are pretty pale. But by the time I get all the pale colors in, I could see where things are. I can see how I want the colors to go. Finished, except for this. I wanted to decide what color it was after I had them both done. And I made my little lanterns lit up. I thought that came out cute. Hi, Susan. Nice to see you. And then there's this big thing. Here's a dragon right here. I like dragons. I'm surprised I didn't color him already. And then a unicorn. All right, so there's one. I didn't see anything in there I wanted to work on today. Welcome in, Susan. This is, okay, so that was, excuse me, Worlds Within Worlds. This one is the same artist, Kirby Roseanne's, and this is Imagimorphia. And this one was from 2016. Now, he still has all his little goofy things in here, things that I don't like this little ghost. Or he'll have, well, here's a playing card, or I don't like all that little stuff in there. I want it without the little stuff. But I like all these little fish and everything. You know, I don't mind that. But there's so many of them. I got to where I just color over them and don't act like they aren't even there. So like you can see, this one started. But a lot of it's still just the first layer. There are so many wonderful pictures in these books alone that I really don't need any other books. I have a lot of other books, but I don't really need them because there's so much imagination in these that, you know, you could just work on them for a long, long time. This is about a third of the way done. Hi, Mary Lou. Welcome. This is painted, ready to start. And I'll do this sometimes. I'll go through a book, and anything I think I'm going to want to paint the background, I do it. So then when I get ready to color, it's already there, and I can just color. And if you're familiar with Dee Dee Willingham at all, you'll recognize a lot of these pages because she's done them. This still has a little bit of shading. This book's falling apart, by the way. This still has some shading to do on it. The balloons are pretty well done, but some of this down in here needs shaded yet. Whenever Dee Dee comes on and she's going to do a page in one of the abandoned books, if it's one that I have, I usually won't watch it because she's so influential with her imagination that I'll end up doing something based on what she did. So I always try, even with her coloring, I always try not to watch what she does until after I do that page, and then I'll go back and watch it. Because, you know, I want it to be my imagination, not hers, and she has such a better imagination than I do. So I decide not to watch her. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, why didn't I do that? So this is close to being done. I still have a few little people. There's some shading needs done on this castle, and I need to do some stuff on the background. See how busy that is? Look at all that stuff. There's lots of stuff in there. Here are my rabbits. This one is finished. They're all running across the field for some reason. This is not done. I still have to work on the clouds, the shading on some of these metal parts. That needs to be shaded, but it's almost done. mechanical. These are started. They're probably not even halfway yet. These are finished. These I did with, what do you call those pins? Gel pins. So all this pink and yellow and orange and stuff is gel pins. And then the background is painted and colored pencil shaded, which isn't showing up that well on the screen. Well, Susan, Dee Dee I haven't seen how I put this. I hadn't done paper stuff for a long time. I did beading exclusively, pretty much, for a long time. And I was wanting to get back into paper because I used to make, scrap albums and all kinds of stuff. Hi, Judy. Thanks for coming. And but I wanted to get back into the paper side of things again. I hadn't done it in a few years. And I just came across her one day, and she really got me back into paper because she didn't really show me anything I hadn't done before as far as techniques go and things, but she what's the word I want? Inspired me with what she was doing and how she was doing it. And it really got me back into it again. So I truly appreciate that. And then, she's just really fun to watch, and she's so skillful. So I really appreciate the fact that she got me back into it again because I really enjoy it. And I had just started right before I started watching her, started doing, hi Carol, welcome. Started doing coloring like in adult coloring books again. My granddaughter had talked me into getting one, and then we got hooked. So that was good because she was doing that too. So it was fun. It was fun to watch. These are not finished, obviously. See, here's how when I start out, I just do light colors, and then this one's a little farther along, so it's had some other shadings and stuff added and more vibrant colors added. That's just the way I do it because it makes sense to me, and especially in these little detailed pictures, it makes a lot of sense because I go through and I color the base color. Like these will all be pale green. All the green will be pale green. All the blue will be pale blue. This will be all pale, tan or whatever. And then all the little things that are in here, they'll have a pale color so I can see where they are. Because these are so hard to pick things out sometimes until you're actually in there coloring. And like I said, this book is falling apart. I probably had it the longest. This isn't quite done. It could use some more stuff, especially the edge of this. That's hideous. So I don't see anything in there I want to work on today. Put it aside. Now this one is Mythomorphia. Yeah, I like them too. I just don't like the little creatures in there. Oh, I was going to see what year this was. 2017. Now he had taken all the little people out of these, all the little whatever they are, creatures. This is the style I like more because it's like kind of a realistic picture, but not exactly. Here's a card in here. He still puts little hidden things in there, but there's not all those little ghosts and I don't know what else, aliens and stuff. So this is not quite finished. You can see the difference here in his face and then in his face. See how light he is? All this down in here hasn't been done. Now this up in here has. So you can see the difference. More layers make. This is just a barely paint washed sky. That's all that's been done to this. And it's not solid, it's kind of streaky. Not too bad, but a little bit. These aren't quite done. The main parts are done. I've got to work on the water. I need to shade these little guys a little bit too. Their eyes aren't done. So it's totally a work in progress. Which picture, Susan? This one? Where was I? This one? Susan, aren't you the one that likes dragons? Oh, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. This is not done, of course, but it's on its way. This one is finished, except I thought there was something I needed to do on here. What was it? That arrow is not colored. I think that's all. Here's a rabbit, a jackalope, or something. I really like the way this turned out with this coloring in here. I like those colors together. Now this is started. The horses are well on their way. They're almost finished. And then this is painted. And this purple is painted. This one is a big dragon. And I think, now I can see right here, I need to do a little bit. I haven't added the highlights and some darks just to this area right here. Probably need to do some to the green a little bit. But it's almost done. This is started, this is finished. I love the mushrooms growing in his hair. Here's a big lion. I haven't started him yet. He's got flames, so he's going to be cool. Octopus. Every single book this guy does has an octopus in it. I'm not too crazy about him. I try him once in a while. This is paint on the back. And this is barely even started. I don't really like this much, but I started playing with it. What did I do? I think I was painting some of it to try that. Here's a fox with a big tail. Here's a gruesome guy and a tree lady. This might be pretty. I think Diddy might have done this one. Pretty sure she did, or showed it at least. I love this turtle with the little shacks on his back. I like these little crinkly clouds too. So you've got everything. You've got the sky, you've got green, you've got the water, the fish. I like it. And here's this one. This one's not done. Some of it I did. Let's see, did I do? Some of it's been done with marker that I was trying out. So it looks kind of blotchy still. So it still has some stuff to do to it. The water and things like this, and down here needs shaded where I've done the markers. Here's this big wolf. I know Dee Dee did this one. I remember seeing it. I don't quite remember what it looked like. And this is a painted background. It's not finished. Here you can see where the leaves aren't done yet. There's some more dragons, a fire dragon and a water dragon. I think he's pretty much done, the dragon itself. This one is not. He needs more shading. Ow. This has work to do. I keep saying that, but you know, that's how it is. There's a minotaur, a phoenix. It's kind of pretty. There's flowers down in here too. Flowers and leaves. That's pretty nice. I like that. I'll have to work on that one. I've already done a Medusa, or two of them maybe, in some other books. Looks pretty much like that. Maybe it was in one of his other books. I don't know. There's the abominable snowman, and here is, oh, I can't think who it is now. I can't think of what his name is. A Greek god. I mean, not Greek, Egyptian god. Here is a serpent with his baby serpents, or her baby serpents. And again, in the sky, I added that effect in the sky. It was just blank. There's still a little bit of work needs done on this, but not much at all. What happens sometimes is I'll be working on something, and when I have to stop, I put it away. Yeah, Susan, that would be cool. And so when I go back to color again, I just find something else, and start on that, so things don't get finished until I specifically go back and work on them. I like the way these are turning out, and I really like him. I think he's going to be awesome. And reds and yellows probably, maybe some blue in there. There's some little trolls or wherever they are. Here again, the sky is painted in. And this green is colored pencil, and the brown. Here's another dragon. He could be called done, but I think he would look better with more shading. Need some more darker shades in here and in the water. And here's the three-headed dog, which I forgot his name too. He's finished. Yeah, Judy, get your books out. It's fun to go back and look because you forget, These are my mermaid and my merman. I love their red hair. Need a little bit more shading in the water. And you probably can't see it, but on top of this water, it's I took a pencil and I just scribbled all over it. So there's little scribbles. It kind of looks like almost like bubbles in there. That could use a little bit of work on it, and then it would be finished. Here's my dragon, big dragon. I like him. He came out pretty well. But look, see, I still have some things that need to be painted because I was at the end and had to stop and do something else. Okay, that's all on that one. I only saw that one thing I was interested in, but I don't think that's what I want to do today. Now here's Anamorphia. Same artist. 2015. See, this one still has all the little funny critters in it. And this one has started with the pale colors already. This one I started, but I wrote down the colors so I wouldn't forget what I was using. So you see I have a lot of things that I could work on in these. I don't really like the ones where they leave the spaces for you to fill in your design. Oh, thanks for sharing that, Susan. This is paint. Oh, as far as I got. This is a nice page. Oh, he's got a soccer ball. And this big fat snail. I think my granddaughter started coloring this page. So I haven't done a lot in here. Started. I forgot these were in here. Oh, roosters. I have to remember that. And this one is not finished. This is all paint, and the background's paint. Everything is painted, and then I went over with colored pencil. So this is how, not the beak because it's finished or worked on, but the body. This is how it looked before, and this is how it looked after. And it still could use some more darks in it. But it gives you a base to work on, and it really picks up the pencil. Sometimes those 2-page spreads can really take a lot of time. Here's an octopus I started working on, but I hadn't finished. I didn't have the patience that day. And this one, look how mad these flamingos look. Don't they look mad? But it's just started, and this is all paint. Okay, there's that one. Okay, that's all the Kirby's I brought over here. And I have 2 new ones here. And this is by Joseph Cadambang, I think. Cadambang. And this was, oh, it doesn't say. Guess it doesn't tell. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick flip through. This is the latest one I've worked in. I worked in this one the last time I was in Mexico, so that was in February. And it's all about winter, but some of the things are pretty neat. Like here's a fish and a birdhouse or something, I don't know. Then here's a girl in a hot air balloon. But then down here are snowflakes and stars and what have you. So it's kind of a mixture of things. But there's always something to do with snow or frost. Or here's a girl sitting with a book. Here's a fish, I think. Other little fish all in there. This is going to be pretty, I think. Little panda bears and the bamboo and the snow. This is a turtle with a building. See, this is really hard to see. I think he's in, I can't tell if he's in the water or what he is doing. It'll show up when you start coloring. This is pretty, like a little fox and its baby. And I love the way this is all up on the tree. Butterflies. Here's a bubble with a bee. But then there's snowflakes. Little frogs. And little frosty mushrooms. I think that will be pretty. Here's a deer looking in the water with a reflection. I think it's supposed to be a moose, but I don't see any antlers. I don't know what that is. Oh, a rhinoceros. His horn is all crystals. His beard is all crystals. And this must be a jellyfish. Oh, here's a little girl running along with a string. And these are all kites up here in the sky. But then there's shards of ice crystals. So it's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat book. It's kind of hard to see unless you sit and look at it for a bit. This is not quite done. Here's a girl on the fish to pet the cat, and all these little fish swimming around with snowflakes. And here's a little fish that's dead, and you can see his skeleton. Oh, and this fish looks like a lantern. Pretty little birds. Here is a frog on the side of a building. And there's trees, frost, snow in the sky. It's not done yet. There's a little cat. So he's kind of also, did I say he? It's a he, right? Yeah, Joseph. He also put some little things in, hidden things. It's another one of those hidden things. There's a key, an owl, an ice cube. I saw a shoe, and so on and so forth. Here's a little chime hanging in the tree. I like this one too, with a rabbit. So I know you can't see these very well, but you might get an idea of what's going on. Here's one I started with a flamingo. Doesn't look near as mad as those other flamingos. I think this is supposed to be an otter. And a narwhal. Narwhal? Is that what that is? How do you say that? I don't know. These are little mice or rabbits or something. Butterfly coming out of its chrysalis. A lion. I don't know why he's going in that direction. An elephant. Oh, these must be geese or something. Swans. Swans, I guess. Little squirrels. I know what these are, but I can't think of it right now. Is that a wombat? I know, Susan. It amazes me. They're so pretty. This guy's on skis in the middle of these leopards or whatever they're supposed to be. That's very pretty. Here's a snake. This is like a cockatiel or something or other. Some kind of bird. And here's a, whatchamacallit, chameleon or whatever he is. Bush babies. Yeah, that's what they are. Bush babies. You're right. There's some little hedgehogs. I like that these are one-sided, because if I want to, I can use my pit pins or whatever. See, I can't even tell what all this is. Something's there. A snail. This is a big snail. Here's a shell. Takes a while to figure it out. Oh, these are like bees. This is a bee inside of a rose, and it has crystals, ice crystals on it. Here's a big crystal, another big crystal. That'll be pretty. These are all going to be really pretty, I think. So there's that new book. Fairly new book. And then here's this one. This is the last one. And I'm going to color. And this is Millie Morata's books. I have several of her books. 2021. So I don't think I've even done anything in this one yet. I'm not even going to try to show it to you because I don't think it's going to show up. Well, I guess it's showing up pretty well. Well, her things are usually like this, where she has all these designs drawn out inside the animal or whatever it is. And she does a lot of this kind of thing, or it's repeated design around. And she likes to do this too, where you can fill in your own thing. I'm not crazy about that, but I do like her style. It's fun to color, especially if you like using a lot of colors. Look how pretty this bird is. That's really nice. But she uses a lot of flowers and greenery and pleasing shapes. See, like on this one, she shows here it's kind of plain, and here she's drawn more into it to encourage you to do your own thing. And these are pretty too. I like these going across the page where you can get lots of pretty shading in there. I like this page. Yeah, sometimes the paper is a little different. Of course, it's that way with just about every book you pick up. I have those books with the little girl faces, and they have like big poofy hairdos and all different kinds of stuff. And it's just their faces. And I really like them. They're so cute. But the paper, you can't do very much. You can't do very much layering on it at all. So I usually pick one of those out when I'm, don't have very long and just want to mindlessly color something. This is pretty cool. I guess these are eels. See how she puts all these different designs in them, and that allows you to do some really cool color combinations. I like this too. So what am I going to color today? What am I going to color today? Oh. I'm thinking about this bird. I kind of like him, but I like those eels too. Where'd they go? What to do? What to do? Look at the bird. He's kind of simple. Ooh. Got slugs on it. Little slimy slugs. Or whatever they are. Here it is. So I'm thinking maybe this one or this one. What do you think? This one or this one? This one or this one? I think I'm going to do this one. Because I feel a need for green. The bird? The bird or the bird? Not picking. I think I'm going to do the eels. They'll take longer. I probably won't finish, but I can get a ways on it. All Alrighty then. So, might as well just get the greens out because I know I'm going to be doing some greens. A whole big set of Premiers fit in this, or Prismas fit in this box. So, and for down here, I have another set of them, sort of like a leftover set, because I had a medium set and a big set. So I took all the newest ones and put in my book, and then all the leftovers were of the same kind. I have in jars over beside me here, and I use those when I'm down here, because I don't want to have this big book out sitting all over the place when I'm down here. It's easier to pull out the other things. So let's see, what are we going to do first? First, we're going to start just color. This is a what is this? Lime peel, and I'm just going to lay down some light colors like I usually do. And they don't even have to be precise. I mean, in the lines, yeah, but they don't have to be total coverage. They're just to get me started. And then I'll always go back and do something to it. Oh my gosh, one time my friend and I were, the two couples, my friend and her husband, and my husband and I, we were all really close. And we were stationed in Key West, Florida for 5 years, all of us. And the two guys went to sea together. The two of us girls stayed together. She was afraid to stay by herself, so she came and stayed with me. And we just were very, very good friends and got along really well. So we were at the beach one day, and the guys had decided that they were going to go snorkeling. Well, they also had this big idea that they were going to make them a platform so that when they were, out in the water, they could just get up on this platform and sit down and relax for a little while before they went snorkeling some more. So they were out in the water. We were just sitting barely in the water, just sitting there, and the water was kind of coming up over our knees, with our legs stretched out, and watching them out in the water and just talking, just having a good day. All of a sudden, we saw one of them jump up out of the water, get up on the platform. The other one came jumping up out of the water, and we didn't know what was going on. We thought there was a shark or something out there. And come to find out, there was oh shoot, now I forgot what they're called. The the things with the big flaps. What are those called? Are those moray eels? No. What are those called? Anyway, that's what was out there, and was swimming around them, scared them half to death. And this poor platform they had made, it was like a big piece of plywood with some inner tubes strapped to it or something, So, and we couldn't figure out what was going on. So pretty soon here they come paddling in, told us what had happened. Well, sometime during that day, my friend and I were, like I said, we were sitting there in the water, and we were just, sitting there talking and just kind of swishing our hands around. Manta ray, that's what I was trying to think of. Thank you very much. And just swishing our hands in the water, and talking and what have you. All of a sudden, we looked down, and there was this long, skinny fish. I mean, it was pretty skinny, and it had teeth. It was a small barracuda, and they get attracted by shiny things. So with us, swishing our hands in the water, our rings must have been shining and down there, and it swam out. It was just a small one, but we got out of the water pretty fast. It had teeth, that's for sure. You could see them. Manta ray, Susan, I think is what it. Well, I mean, I wasn't there, but it's that kind of thing is what it was. First day I went on the beach when we were in Key West. me and another gal went. And we didn't know each other very well. You know, we just met to. You meet a lot of people when you get when the whole squadron moves, everybody moves, so you get to know new people. And so we were walking along the beach, you know, and there were these little blue bubbles, looked like little blue plastic bubbles all along the beach. And she was going along there kicking them with her toe, wondering what they were. And I said, I think those are man o' wars. I think you need to leave those alone because I think you get stung with those. And sure enough, that's what they were, all along the beach, washed up with the seaweed. Just hundreds of them. She was out there kicking them with her toe. Well, she's the same one that stomped the little lizards that would get, like salamanders or whatever they are, that would get in the house down there. You know, they were always getting in the house, especially if you lived in a trailer, which they did. And she would just stomp them and kill them, and it just made me sick. I couldn't stand the thought. They're the ones where if you pull their tails off, they grow back. But she would just stomp them dead. Yeah, Susan, I found that out later, but you know, she says, "Well, I didn't know what they were." I said, "Yeah, but you don't just go up to something you don't know what it is, kicking it around with your bare foot, you know." So when y'all color, what's your plan of attack? Do you do like this and just do everything in layers, or do you do one area totally finished, then move to the next area, or what do you do? What's your plan of attack? And do you find coloring really relaxing, or does it make you nervous? When we go to Riviera Maya, which is near Cancun, that's where we usually go. And the resort we stay at is called Barcelo, or Barcelo, however you want to say it. And I think I think I figured the other day this is going to be about the sixth time I've been there in the past 15, no, 13 years, in the past 13 years. And there's an area at the resort where it's sort of it's a walkway. And you can walk from one end of the resort to the other by going through the buildings if you want to. But then there are a few areas where you come out of the building and you go across a covered walkway. So if it's raining or whatever, you can still get to the restaurants and what have you. And in the middle of this walkway, this one walkway, it's a nice big one. They have little tables. It's really meant to be a smoker's area, so they have these small tables with some pretty comfortable chairs. They're wicker, but they're pretty comfortable. And I've never seen anybody there smoking, you know, never. And I've been there a lot because that's where I go to color. When everybody else goes on the company excursions, I stay there and just relax and color under the walkway um, covering. And so there's a lot of people that walk through there going, you know, um, resort people and then people who are staying at the resort also. And that's where I go to color because it's breezy and I can still see and hear things, and um, it's just very comfortable and relaxing and shady enough to where you can see what you're doing and not burn up too much when it's warm. Color all the you brush it off. Yeah. Susan, that's mean. They eat bugs. I know that, but I don't want them eating bugs in my bed. Sorry, I just can't stand the thought of one of them jumping on my head. You know, thinking I'm a bug. And Judy said she colors all of the same objects first. All of the same objects first. So like if you had a lot of leaves, you'd color all the leaves first, totally finish, and then go on to the next object. And Susan does one item and finish it. I have done that, and sometimes I'll do it like, as you saw in some of the things that aren't finished, I might go in and do one of these all the way through and finish it and then go back. But for some reason, I don't know if it's the fact that I like to see the progression of the shading or what it is, but this is just the way I seem to like to do it. But everybody has their own way to do it. Doesn't mean one's right or wrong. Whatever you're comfortable with. This is one thing I never really did much of, just sitting in the chair, I don't think. I mostly, like I'll go into the kitchen table or something. For a while, I was going to a coloring club. Some of the people from church, they were using the library to have a weekly coloring club. And all you did was really go there and color. But it was kind of far for me then, and now we live an hour away from there, so I don't go. And I really don't have time now. So I guess mostly I color sitting at a table. Now I used to always bead sitting in a chair in the living room watching TV or whatever, because that was what for many years I would. I've always had a room in the basement wherever we've lived to craft in, or an area anyway. So whenever I was working, I would come home, and in the evenings after dinner, I'd go to the basement, and my husband would be upstairs by himself. Well, about 25 years ago, 22 years ago, something like that, we kind of changed how we did things. And I decided I didn't want to, go down to the basement and leave him all by himself. Even if we're sitting there not talking to each other, I still want to be where he is. So when I started that, then I started beading in the living room and sitting in a comfy chair with a good light. And then we moved again, and I had trouble with my back, so I couldn't do that anymore. So it feels a little strange for me to bead at a table. It always felt strange when I go to bead retreats and we'd be at a table. It always felt strange because I'd always beaded sitting in a chair with my feet up and stuff on my lap. And of course, beads end up everywhere. So now we don't have that problem anymore. If they're everywhere down here in the dungeon. Okay, so since in honor of the way you guys do things, oh my gosh, Kimberly, you should see it now. Oh my word. I had all those beads out last week, and I've used some beads this week, and I haven't put them back over on the other side of the room yet. So my boxes of beads are sitting to my right. My stuff that needs to go to Keisha is sitting to my right. I've got a pile of stuff under my table. I've got baskets of things sorted out that I need to do behind me. It's a mess. I keep thinking I'm getting more stuff out of the way, which I am, but it takes a lot to get rid of a little bit of stuff, surprisingly, especially if you're trying to use it in some way that allows you to um, sell it. This one's down here. So, oh, there's one more over there. So I'm going to do I'll do all 4 of these and then work on them first. Just in honor of your systems. Do you remember where you were when the towers went down? You know, today's 9/11. We were driving to church this morning, and I noticed that some of the flags were at half mast. And I said, oh, these people must be doing their flags for the Queen dying. And my husband said, what makes you think that? And I said, well, that's just what I thought. I said, you know, I've seen all the flags at half mast. He said, well, they're not all at half mast. He said, we just passed one that wasn't. I said, well, whatever. So then when we came out of church, he said, you know what, flags are at half mast. And I said, because of 9/11. And he said, yep. Or something to that effect. And I had forgotten the date. I knew last night, but I didn't think about it this morning. So I took some time to think about them, those people. What happened? My husband went to the, because he travels a lot with the travel group because he's the host. And he went to the, well, actually, I guess he did that when he was on a motorcycle trip. He went to the memoriam, what do you say? I guess memorial is the right word, where the flight went down, where the people took the flight down before it got to the Pentagon or wherever it was headed. So he went there and saw that, and he doesn't come home talking a lot about a lot of the places he sees, because I guess it gets a little old sometimes because, you know, he's more concerned about the people and what they need because he's the host. But he talked a lot about that when he came home. He was very impressed with it. Of course, then I don't think there was much to it yet because they were still working on it. But, yeah. Okay, here's one more. Let me do this one. And then I'm going to do where's my mouse? Here it is. I want to do what Judy said. Color all the same objects first. So I'm considering these objects, and they're the same. So that's what I'm doing. And do you like your pencils really sharp? And do you like short points or long points? I like to know how different people accomplish the same things. Long points or short? I like long. Long and pointed. Most of the time. It depends on what I'm doing. But so what I do is I sharpen them real sharp, and then I go through most of the time with that color. Wherever I want it to go that is a small space, I color first. And so that when I get to where the big spaces are, it doesn't matter that it's not real sharp. I love coloring. I like blending. I like shading. I just find it very relaxing. I can hear the dog barking outside, but her papa's up there, so he'll have to take care of her. Now let me think. Would this go behind? Yeah, that would go behind, so this is going to be the top. Okay. So far, so good. And usually when I'm coloring, I don't put this pencil back yet because I'm going to be using it some more. And it helps me remember which one, where I'm at. Now, I want, what do I want? I want something bluey with this, bluey green, blue greeny. Which color do I want? I think anyway. Unless I take, could use this. No, I think I'll use it for the other one. Okay, I'm gonna lay that out. Take this one. See how it does. That's kind of what I had in mind. Could have been a little bit more blue, but I think that'll be fine. As long as it's pointy. Oh, Carol leave? I didn't see her. Oh, there she goes. So, oh, I missed her. Bye. Oh, you do? Yeah, it does mine too. If I go through and sharpen my whole container, but I don't like the electric ones. I feel like they chew them up. Maybe I just haven't had a good one. I like these. Where's my razor? Oh, sorry. I like these. This one right here. Has two sides. You do the first side, and then you do the second side to get a long point. Let's see. I have one of those sharpeners, but I don't have it attached to the wall. I keep thinking I'm going to put it up, but I haven't yet. One of those old-fashioned school sharpeners. Now, am I going to like that color? I think I am. I tell you, lime green goes with everything, I think. It's one of my favorite colors to mix with something. And right now, I'm not being too specific. I'm not too worried if I go over the line a little bit because in the end, it's not going to show. I mean, as long as I'm in this, I don't want to go up here, but so I just try to get a quick layer on there. Yeah, I'm pretty particular about my pencils staying sharp. And this one needs sharpen right here. My box needs emptied. I think this sharpener needs the blades changed because it is not doing a great job. Okay, I got to pull this back. Can you see this all right? Do you need me to go bigger? Not much to see yet, is there? Okay, now let's see. I'm going to use some different colors on this one. A little bit different. A little bit different. This is a grass green. This is a true green. This is a grass green. And this is lime green, lime peel. Let's see, so this is in the water, so we have to have blue in there. Or some kind of bluish color in there. Sorry, I'm talking quiet. That's what I do. Did any of you ever have a party line? We weren't even allowed to use the phone. I had a stepfather that was really strict about everything. So now I'm putting in some shading and trying to leave the edge of the shading not very solid, because then I'll go back with this other color and blend it in. And I can see right now this is not dark enough. I need a darker. I'll try this one. This is marine green. Let me see what it does. No, I need this on the leaves. That's going to be one of my leaf colors. Oh, here we go. Olive green, maybe. Sometimes I try colors just to see how they're going to do. Not necessarily because I think they're the right color. And then I'm real happy with the way they turn out. So I think this olive green, let's see, is that going to be dark enough? Yeah, I think it will. So I'm using my olive green as the darkest shadow in here. Darkest shading, I should say. And then I've got the true green, which is a kind of a bluish. It's almost like a pale teal color in a way. And that's the color I had done the leaf with at first. So this is what I do. And I don't know if it's right or wrong or who else does it this way. I put down my lightest color. Then I usually try to have at least 3 colors. So in this case, for a particular area I'm shading. Right now I'm shading between these leaves. I'm going to do this. Let's see if I can get closer here. So right now I'm shading between the leaves. And this is my base color, this kind of a bluey green color. Then I can take the next darker color, which is grass green, and do a little bit with it, like maybe at the bottom of the space. Then I take the darkest color and go, in this case I'm putting it like under the leaves. Still trying not to get a real hard line there. But in this case, on this stem, or whatever you want to call it, blade, whatever it is, these are my 3 shading colors. I always try to pick at least 3 colors in the same color family or really close. Like sometimes I'll use purples, some kind of purple, to shade on a blue. It just depends on how I want it to look. And then I'll go back with my first color and go over all of it to blend it together. And then if I think there's still not enough contrast, I'll find an even darker color or a different color family and use that. I try to do this kind of shading without using black unless it calls for it, but most of the time it doesn't call for it. So that still doesn't look dark enough to me. This needs more of that. And you can't see it as well as I can, but you should be seeing the overall. And this is small, so that makes it hard to see also. But I think you probably can tell that it's starting to look different. It obviously looks different from this. So let me see if I can find one more really dark green. Do I have something? If not, this is green ochre. I like this color. I'm going to have to get out a different, oh my goodness, a different sharpener. Where are you sharpeners? Change my drawers around. Don't know where things are. Yeah. Nope. Oh well, we'll just use this one. So I'm going to take this yellow ochre, which is almost a brown, and see what it does. Get right in here. Real close. It doesn't do much different, but a little bit. So see now, I use this color a lot with lime green. So now I can't use it because it will take away the contrast again. So I have to do something different with that. Then I can go back and blend it some more. So then once I get the right formula, it goes a lot faster on the other areas, once I figure out how I want it to work. And then the leaves, get this chartreuse and ink. Remember. Yeah. I think that's going to be too close. I think we're going to keep these leaves really light. So let's go with I'm going to go back with the lime peel. Put that in a little bit heavier, a little darker. Get the chartreuse, dry it over the top, and it kind of pops it out. And then I'll have to use something to give that a little bit more shade. It's kind of a subtle, more subtle color scheme, but that's what I wanted in here. I didn't want it to be blaring. Right, Susan. I don't want this to get too complicated though. I'd rather just be able to pick up the 3 colors and go with that in this case. But yes, you are definitely correct. So, and that's another thing. You can, I figure anyway, that you could make your pictures as complicated or as simple as you would like. It's up to you. If you don't want to shade, don't shade. If you want to spend days doing one picture, then do that. It's just whatever makes you happy and relaxed. If getting all the details in makes you a nervous wreck, don't do it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Vern? And sometimes I do them more simple, and sometimes I do them more complicated. Just depends what mood I'm in. What mood I'm in. But now that looks a lot prettier though than this. Here's the first version. Here's the second version. And then once I'm all done, if I look at it and I think, wow, I really need to punch that up, I can go back and do it. Because I haven't ground my pencil into the paper and I can still make more layers. Yeah, I think so too. I do think Prisma needs to make them a little darker green. What other color was it that I'm always complaining about? Don't have enough teals and aquas because I like to use those a lot. All right, so where lose my place here? Let's see. Okay, those are for the leaves. This is for the leaves. These are for the background. All right. So that's why, one of the reasons why I just do light layers and just build them up. Of course, some papers won't allow you to do much of that. Even light layers, you can't get very much build up. So you've got to kind of learn what the paper will do. So once those fibers get filled, then you can't do much more. You'll just start waxing up and can't really do much. I like using greens because I use this chartreuse and the lime peel a lot. There's another green, which I'm always out of. Is it this one? No. There's another green, which I don't even have right now because I need to pick one up because I'm out of it. I use it down to a little bitty nub. And if you have some that you've got down to nubs, I take the nubs and glue them into end like this. with super glue. Oops, here, where am I? Glue them end to end like this with super glue. And they might only be, well, like this one, like these two. If they start getting too small, I just glue them together like this. And then I could still sharpen them and use them for a while. Or I have, well, I don't think I have one in my bag here. When they get really short, I have some of those extenders that you can put on them. But those things are expensive. So I have a tendency just to glue them together. That way you can still use them down to the last little bit. Oh, thanks, Susan. Thanks, Judy. I can go closer, but I don't know how it'll look. Let's see how it'll look if I go closer. I think. See what my camera will actually do. That looks pretty blurry, so we won't do that. No, it doesn't like that too much. Change it back. Try that. That's not too bad. Is it? How's that? Is that too bad? I've been having so much trouble with my back. I thought it was getting better. Sacroiliac acting up. In the last few days, it was doing really, really well, and I'd even cut back some on Tylenol, which I was trying to do. But now I have a spot up in my hip that it's moved to, I guess. I don't know. Never happy. Never happy. Old body. Uh-oh, did I mess up? No. I got a couple of coloring books that are mostly faces, women's faces, or, a lot of it's a woman's face. Because I'm so bad about flesh colors. So I thought, well, I'll get a coloring book for that and I'll practice. And sometimes I do okay, and sometimes I just look, flat. Facial colors are pretty tricky. It's another thing that Dee Dee does really well. That doesn't look blurry to you? I wish I could do my eyes like that. Just turn a switch and boom, you could see. That'd be nice. See, even this paper, I'm seeing that I can't do more than like maybe 4 layers, maybe 5 if I'm lucky, because it's already starting to bloom. Oh. Yeah, Susan, that's the truth. It's so tiresome. Everything you want to do, you have to stop and think, oh, am I going to be able to sit there that long? Am I going to be able to do those steps or whatever? I'm happy to be able to do what I can, but some days it seems like it's getting worse. Then you stop and think, you think, well, am I going to be able to do the things I like to do very much longer? I'm going to, as long as I can. I have to hold it in my teeth. Not let it get me down. I might whine and complain and cry, but that's all right too. Okay. I'm still alive and kicking. I don't kick very high, but I kick. We went to a steakhouse for lunch today after church, and I had this, you know how you buy these coupon books from the kids at school, and the stores give you discounts on stuff. Well, this place had a free blooming onion, one of those humongous onion things. Good night, Kimmy. Have a good dinner. Thanks for coming. Tell your parents I said hi. But I got uh, a strawberry and orange salad with chicken in it, and he got a steak chicken. I mean, a steak salad. It was pretty good. We'd been there before, but it did not look familiar to me. Not very. We go to so many places. I think I'm losing track. But it was a nice lunch. The kids are doing pickleball today. Olivia's not playing, but they went to watch. My son-in-law might have been reffing. I don't know if he was doing referee or not. He was already there. They came to church first and then went. So I got to see them for a few minutes. Okay, now see, I'm getting bored of doing this design. So as soon as I finish this, I'm going to move on to a different part. And then I'll come back. But you can't even see what I'm doing, can you? Where am I? Here I am. So I've been sewing for my granddaughter. And normally I fit everything when I sew because I have never been a perfect size ever or even close. When I was younger, even before I put weight on, I was not a perfect size. So I couldn't just take a pattern and make it from the pattern. Well, she was really close to a perfect size by the measurements. So I thought, oh, this is going to be easy. They were so big on her. So I have two dresses I have to change majorly. I don't know. When I was doing it, I thought, boy, this sounds like a really large size for her. Well, we went exactly by the measurements, but it didn't fit her. So I was pretty disappointed because I'd have to go back and fix it. She was disappointed because it's going to take longer. But you know, that's what happens when you make your own clothes. I said, I knew I should have not trusted the pattern. So I got that to work on this week. I wanted to have them done before, or done by October 1st, which I should still be able to, but there's other things I want to get done too. Okay, so now let's, where's my thing? Here we go. Let's go back out. So there you can see the difference when it started. This one doesn't look as dark as this one. What have I done different? Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. Scoot the page down a little bit. Yeah, that bloomin' onion was really good. So anyway, that's how these will look. All three of those. And I can see like right here, that needs to be darker in that area. This needs to be darker in this area, but I'll leave those for now. So I think I'm going to work on the fish for a little bit. And, ouch, sorry. And what do I want the fish to be? I don't know here. I think I want, now another thing, when I color stuff like this, even if it's more like in the other books I had, if it looks more realistic, I don't go look a picture of it up and see what it looks like. I color it however I want it. So it's like no restrictions. So I'm going to make one of these red in reds because that's just what I want to do right now. So let me find some reds. Oops. I've been looking and looking for this pencil and it was in my pencil bag. And let's try some of these. And I'm going to go into some oranges and yellows. This one. That would be a good start. So this is going to be yellowy, orangey red. I'm sorry, I get so relaxed that my voice gets lower and lower and lower. Which you probably don't mind, you don't have to listen to me jabber. Well, this is my first layer, so I want coverage, but I don't want thick. Okay, and then I'm going to do this. And I have to decide if I want them all to be in the same color families or all different. Not sure. Maybe a blue one. Don't want a green one. Could do purple. I could do reds to yellows. purples to blues, and tans to browns. Maybe that would work. Yellows to reds. You know, when I was in high school, the only free hour that I had on my schedule to do art class was when the beginning class, the junior class, freshman classes, when the freshman class was in. It was like the last class of the day. And it was the only time I had free that I could take art. So I was pretty much just by myself sitting in the back of the room. I mean, you know, people were in there, but I was sitting in the back of the room by myself, just painting and doing whatever I was doing. And without realizing it, I'd be humming or singing to myself, you know, like, you know, without knowing it. And the teacher would, and he was also the choir teacher, and I was in choir. He'd come back and he'd say, Miss Farrell, could you please keep your singing for the choir class? And I said, oh, I'm so sorry, you know. Then I'd get into it again, and here I'd go again. Da, 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 da. And I wouldn't even realize I was doing it. Those were the days. All right, now. This is going to be a little tricky. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to carry that color up here to these light spots. Okay, Judy, have a nice dinner. Thanks for coming by, for chatting. You're always welcome. We're kind of a short crew today here, aren't we? But that's all right. Come and go as you please. I'll still be here till I'm done. Okay, there's that. Now, where are the darks? Let's put in some darks. I think I better use that for shading. We've got about 15 more minutes today. I decided I was going to try to learn to draw dragons. So last night I took some supplies upstairs with me, and while I was waiting for laundry to change over the laundry, I sat at the kitchen table and worked on one. Let me show it to you. It's not wonderful, but it's a start. So far I've only got the pencil part done. I haven't lined it out yet. He's getting there. I want to do several of them. Just to kind of get the hang of it, because I like dragons. I like coloring them. I can draw, but I'm a slow drawer. I like the coloring. So I usually do what's easy for the drawing part, like buy a color book. But every once in a while I'll do something. I'm wanting to do a portrait of my granddaughter. I think I finally got a picture that I can use that I'm really happy with. There were several of them when she was little, but I want one more current. So she recently took a picture, took a selfie after she'd gotten her hair done, and I really, really like it. So I think I'm going to use it. I really hate that those dresses have to be redone. It's just a time waster. I should have done what I always do, fitted her. It was my fault, but still. Oh, here come the dogs. Hey, what you doing, Cammy? You bothering your papa? Taking his nap? Oh, there she goes, back upstairs. That was a quick visit. She's such a little fiend. I got her because I thought she'd be a good companion to Bella. And she is. They're good companions. But she's more trouble. Oh my gosh, she's so much trouble. She's a little knothead. And I thought, okay, so they'll play together and I'll have more time to do my thing, instead of always having to be right there. No, now it's both of them right there wanting my attention. But I love them, so I guess it's worth it. Cammy absolutely chews up everything she can get her teeth on. Not because she's a puppy, but because she just likes to chew things. She's 9 months old now. She should be out of that phase. But she eats grass, flowers, bugs. She chews on any string she finds, piece of paper on the ground. She picks it up, chews it. Everything you think of. She loves cardboard boxes. So I'm constantly after that situation. It's not that she's dumb or anything. She just doesn't listen. She's hard-headed. They all have their own little personalities. Thanks, Susan. It was raining a little bit when we left this morning at 9 for church, but I don't think it did too much while we were gone. Just enough to make the grass grow. We'll probably have to mow the grass again on Monday, and he just mowed it yesterday. And growing like crazy. growing like crazy. Let's see, what are we doing here? Raspberry. 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 It's a funny word. I've got some journals I need to finish. I mean, nothing drastic, but I do need finished. Some other things I need to work on, but I gotta get the sewing done first. So it's out of my way, out of my thoughts. Got about 8 minutes left. Huh. Huh. That's pretty funny. Chewed up all your left shoes. They do peculiar things. Maybe you had a sore toe or something, and it smelled it. I don't know. That is kind of strange. Or maybe he thought if you just shoes up your left shoe, you just go in corners or go in circles all the time. Our older dog, Bella, she's uh, 5. I guess she'll be 5 in a few weeks. She every time my daughter comes here, she stopped doing it. I think she stopped doing it since Cammy came. But every time my daughter would come in, Bella would pee on the floor, on her feet. She'd get so excited. But she's the only one she did it to. She'd come in and even if they were outside, we thought, well, maybe if she's outside, she won't do it when she first sees her. Nope, peed right on her feet. So she's always hopping around trying to get in without getting peed on. I don't think she's done that in quite some time. She's definitely calmed down a lot since Cammy's come. Because Cammy's so spastic. Sometimes Cammy will be doing something she's not supposed to, like chewing up a piece of cardboard or something. And I just recently realized that Bella comes over and starts whining at me, like she knows her sister's doing something she's not supposed to, and she's telling on her, or she's worried about it, or something. It's kind of funny. Hi, Angie. Take a guess. Take a guess, Ange. What do you think I'm doing? You get 3 guesses. 3 guesses. Can you figure it out? Well, yeah, she'd be real excited whenever she would come over. You know, just go crazy. Now they're over here playing. I guess you can probably hear them growling at each other. Ow. Cammy? Cammy? No. They roughhouse quite a bit, and Bella's ears are long and stand straight up. And Cammy gets a hold of them. So Bella's always got scabs inside her ear, where Cammy's gotten a hold of her and pricked skin with her sharp teeth. She has her adult teeth, so it's not puppy teeth, but they're still. She doesn't have the restraint that Bella does. I don't ever find any on Cammy, but Bella roughs her up pretty good sometimes. But she doesn't bite, you know. So Bella will have little scabs on her back and inside her ears. And I think, well, I know that Cammy goes after her legs too when they're out there playing. So I try to make her stop. I don't want her hurting her, you know. I don't want to get infected or something. So I spray it with this disinfectant stuff, just in case. Playing, setting, and coloring. That's right, Angie. You got it. See? You figured that out all by yourself. Hi, how you doing? Thanks for coming. I'm almost done. Well, I have like 3 minutes or so. I mean, I have all day, but I don't want to. Mary comes on after me usually. Mary Bell. Nope, just coloring and relaxing. That would be something nice to do for once. I'm coloring this fish or eel or whatever it is. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get up the steps when this is over. Because I didn't ride my scooter around the house and come in the basement. I came down the steps thinking I could do it. Getting down's not bad. Getting up's a little harder. Didn't need Keisha's book. I don't think anybody needs Keisha's book. I kind of like it. Susan, are you as slow as I am at coloring? I mean, it's not a race, but you know what I mean. Okay, well, I guess it's time to say goodbye. Thank you for coming by and staying for a while and listening to me jabber on and on. I have to go 3 steps. I know, Susan. Sometimes going 3 steps is really difficult lately. So I know what you mean. So I hope to see you again next week. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I got one of those. No, I got 2 of them, Angie. I didn't get the ones I wanted, but I got 2 nice ones. So, okay, well, I'll be back next week as far as I know. Same time, same channel. And I hope to see you there. Give me a shout out. Well, Mary comes on at 6. Well, she should be on by now. If you want to, go give her a watch. I'm not sure what she's doing. Got to be more exciting than me. But there you go. So, thanks for coming by. Come again. Bye-bye.